What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fishnables YouTube channel. So for this week, we have Indianapolis Regionals coming up this Saturday, and so what we're going to do this week is cover 5 different decks that you can expect to see at Indianapolis, and what it is, my friend Kenny was trying to prepare for it. So we played 5 different best of 3s with his deck, which was RC's Inteleon, and so what we're going to try to do on our side is explain the deck, show how they work, and while giving Kenny some testing. So we're gonna pick the 5 most popular decks that you probably see at Indianapolis Regionals. The first one we're going to see is Frank's Whimsicott VSTAR deck that we saw at the EUIC last week or 2 weeks ago. I think this deck is still really good. I think it just it's very simple and takes down the strategy. You have Whimsicott VSTAR that has Trick Wind 160. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play tool cards or special energies. That's going to be really good in this format. To shut down everything. You can't touch DTEs, you can't touch fusion energies and stuff like that. And they can't touch cards like Choice Band and Air Balloon and stuff like that. Fluff Ball Star is a really cool attack. It does 6 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So this is going to do, let's say you have 3 energies attached to the Whimsicott, it will do 180. But then you have to keep in mind the DTE. It does count as 2. So you do 120 with the DTE attached, but you do take 20 less damage. So you do 100 when that happens with the DTE. 3-2 Bibarel line, draw to get 5 cards in your hand. And 1 Crobat for that dark asset. Now, Whimsicott V is actually a pretty good attacker too. It has Fluff gets in the way, 20. If it's a base Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. This could be very useful, especially if your opponent only plays basic Pokemon. You could, use that to the advantage if you only have 1 setup kind of thing. Cotton Guard doesn't have 90, and you take 30 less damage. So yeah, that's the Pokemon in here. 4 Crushing Hammer, because we're trying to get rid of energies and basically make your opponent, set down a 0. 2 Evolution Incense to find the Whimsicott VSTAR and the Bibarel. 3 Fan of Waves, you can put a special energy for your opponent's Pokemon to the bottom of the deck. Now this is good if early game they do decide, to get a special energy attached. You can Fan of Waves, put it to the bottom deck, and then of course Trick Wind, and they can't attach anymore. 4 Fog Crystal to find a Psychic Energy or basic Psychic Pokemon. 1 Ordinary Rod to ship off 2 Pokemon and 2 energies. 3 Quick Ball for Ultra Ball. Quick Ball is going to find your basics. Ultra Ball to discard 2. Finding a Pokemon. Tool Scrapper isn't here. Once again, the cool thing about Tool Scrapper is you can get rid of tool cards and then use Trick Wind to basically make where they can't play tool cards anymore. 3 Path to the Peak. That's going to shut down your Pokemon. Any Pokemon with abilities, or Pokemon with Pokemon abilities have no rule box. Rule box Pokemon have no abilities. There we go. I struggled there. It does make it where your Crobat V can't Dark Asset, but that's a very you only use Dark Asset if you're really, really bad. But Path to Peak is going to shut down, Arceus is going to shut down Mew. So Path to Peak is very, very strong in this deck, of course. We do see 2 Avery. Avery's really good card in this deck because it's going to put your opponent down to 3 bench. You draw 3. If you drew any cards this way, your opponent discard to 3. This is really good at cards like Malamar. Malamar is going to have a full bench. Any Inteleon decks, it's going to be really good. Against Mew. So Avery's a really, really good card that's going to see more and more play just because a lot of opponents are filling up their bench. The good thing about Whimsicott VSTAR is you don't care about your bench. Usually, 1 Whimsicott VSTAR, maybe 2 Bibarels, and another Whimsicott, and that's pretty much all you need. And you can, of course, dump a Bibarel, something like that does happen. 2 Ball Sorter, break a Pokemon bench deactive. You're never one-shotting anything because you're doing 160. I guess if you hit weakness on Urshifu, that could be really good. We did see Frank lose in the finals, but if you watched the finals, it wasn't really Frank playing. Unfortunately, kind of just dead drew. It would be interesting to see how that matchup does play out, just because, Gustavo did have, the Moltres to counter the Whimsicott VSTAR. 3 Marnie, both players put the cards in the bottom deck, draw 5, they draw 4. Peony's a really interesting card. You discard your hand, right, and you get 2 trainer cards. Now, this can find either the EXP share, so you guarantee an energy next turn. You could find a Fog Crystal, you could find energies. There's a lot of different one-ofs you can grab here. Maybe grab the Fan of Waves, or maybe Evolution Incense. Peony for Evolution Incense, and a Fog Crystal could be really good. Find the Whimsicott VSTAR, find the Bibarel or something, and then find an energy attachment. Research, discard your hand, draw 7. Air Balloon to give those Bibarels for retreat. It does make it less than 2. EXP share is pretty interesting. If a Pokemon is knocked out from damage from an attack, your opponent may move a basic energy from that Pokemon to Pokemon this card's attached to. So you have an EXP share on the bench, and your active gets knocked out. The Psychic Energy gets moved, which is really good because you only play 4 Psychic Energies in this deck and 4 DTE. Of course, this deck does need a Psychic and a DTE. Now, the only thing I would include in Frank's deck that I didn't know what to cut for, just because I haven't played Frank's list before, is cutting something for a Raihan. I think Raihan would be really, really good. If somebody does take a knockout, unless you don't have an EXP share online, and they knock out your active, well, you're kind of in trouble because you can't attack next turn. But with Raihan, you can go Psychic, Raihan the Psychic to the active, and then find the DTE and start attacking that way. But then you have to find the Raihan. One thing you could do is maybe cut the Crobat for a, it's not an Eldegoss. It is the new Psychic, or new Water Pokemon that can find you a supporter card. I can't think of his name right now, but you could include one of those in your deck. Over the Crobat, and then also it could find you, the Avery or whatever else you need, just in case. Maybe find the one Peony, because you do only play one Peony. I think like one Peony, one Raihan would be pretty cool in this deck. Just some one-ups, and then play whatever that water Pokemon is that I can't think of it right now. I want to say Cottonee, or Whimsicott, but Whimsicott brings from the discard pile back into your hand. So that's not it. You could maybe cut a Research and play like one Research, one Peony, and one Raihan with 3 Marnie and 2 Avery. That could be something very good to do. I didn't play the list enough to know exactly what to do, what to cut. But what we're going to see today is we're going to see Whimsicott VSTAR, just straight up Frank's list versus Kenny's. RC's tailing on to give him some testing and see how this matchup plays out. So let's watch the match right now. Alright, so here we go. Playing against Kenny. Like I said, playing his RC's tailing on deck. This is already pre-recorded, so we'll just see how this goes and talk about the game and everything. So we won the coin flip, which is great when you play Whimsicott because you would get that turn 1 energy attachment. So we see our hand. It's okay. We do have the Bibarel and the Ultra Ball, which means we could guarantee an energy attachment to Whimsicott. When that doesn't happen, you're usually in trouble. So we do see Bidoof. So we can Ultra Ball, maybe discard the Bidoof if we want to, because we do play a 3-2 line of that. Maybe we'll bench it. Don't know how I feel about that. For sure, maybe just Ultra Ball it away. Maybe discard the Whimsicott VSTAR because we do play Ordinary Rod. That could be very good, and that's what we decided to do. Because we do play the Ordinary Rod, so that's fine. We've got the Whimsicott V Fog Crystal for the Psychic. And there we go. And then what we can do next turn is attach Whimsicott VSTAR, Marnie our opponent, Crushing Hammer if we need to, and set ourselves really nicely. So we'll see on the Kenny's turn. Now this matchup's going to be kind of interesting. It depends on how many Water Energy Kenny plays, how many Melanies. Now if you are playing RCS and Inteleon going into Indianapolis, I would definitely advocate playing for more Melanies or some way to get back your energies, just because I think Whimsicott VSTAR is a very good deck to see. So I think we're playing. So I think if you are going to go to Indianapolis, you should play some way to get back energy and stuff like that. So our hand is really good here. We have Ultra Ball, we have Path to the Peak, we have Quick Ball, so we can find the VSTAR, get a whole new hand. We do see the Sobble comes down. Looks like Kenny, okay, so Kenny did find the energy, but he didn't find the DTE to get the turn with Trinity edge off. So we get the Bibarel, we get an Air Balloon, Path to the Peak. So we can Ultra Ball, discard the Path to the Peak, and Quick Ball. This could find this to VSTAR while keeping options for Crobat. We could put down Path to the Peak, but okay, yeah, we'll go for the VSTAR here. I'm pretty sure that's what we want to do. So we'll go down the Bibarel, we'll put the Air Balloon to the active, and then go for 5 new cards. And this gives us the option to find a Quick Ball. We could go for that Crobat that's in our deck. That could be really good. We do find the DTE, so we find the Whimsicott, we find the, yep. So this is pretty good hand. Research for new hand of 7. We do find a Crushing Hammer. I'll see if this is heads, and it is heads. So we can discard that Water Energy, retreat, and right here, I guess we'll, go for a Trick Win here. Nothing else really to need to do right now. No need to play Crobat. There's no way Kenny can attack either. Like, even if he plays Melanie right now, he can't attach 2. He can maybe go Melanie, Water Attachment, Trinity Charge to get energies in play. Which then will put energies on the bench RCSV. So we'll see if that comes down or not. So see Melanie. So he did have the 1 Melanie. Okay. I think he's played 1 at this point. Water should deactive. We see the VSTAR from the bench. They should probably use the VSTAR ability right now, just because like Kenny knows I play Path to the Peak. Unless Kenny plays counters to Path to the Peak, then maybe he just holds off. Maybe there's no need to play the VSTAR ability. Don't know what he can really get in this hand right now to help him. I don't think there's any healing, so the RCSV is going to fall while getting no damage on this Whimsicott. And basically, both decks are going to counter or take 2 shots on each other. It's going to come down to, can Kenny recycle his RCS V-Stars? Because what he could do is go for Channon's Care and just keep healing his Arceus. If he does play multiple Inteleons, so he get multiple, Sobbles down and recycles them after he goes for this first attack here. But usually his lists only play like 6 water, which is kind of hard to cycle your energies. So he sees Scuba Net to the Drizzile, gonna put down the Sobble, okay. And we see Trinity Charge, gonna get some energies on that bench. RCS, probably just the 3. And 1, 2, and the 3. Okay. So in our turn, we get Crushing Hammer. Let's see what happens. And it is heads. That's not good for Kenny. And we see a Fog Crystal. Probably got the Psychic Energy. So we do have 2 prized. Yeah. And we should probably... Okay, so we're going to put those in the active, actually. Okay, so I think my reasoning is we're going to try to knock out the active. And then the next turn, go for the V-Star to knock out his Arceus V-Star, right? So shuffle 2 Pokemon back in the deck. I don't know if we should play that right now. We probably should just save the Ordinary Rod. Just because if we need our Psychic Energies, so we're going to we're trying to debate if we want to Crobat or Dust Energize this first. We're going to Crobat for 3. So we get into the EXP share, we get into the Crushing Hammer, heads. And at this point, like, Kenny is down 2 water energies. Those Crushing Hammers are very, very good for us. Got the double EXP share. We'll Industrial Incisors for 2. We get a Fog Crystal and an Ultra Ball. So we'll Ultra Ball discard the Whimsicott and the Fan of Waves. And we see Kenny just can see there. After that, like, Kenny probably only plays the 1 Melanie. Most of us only play the 1. So you imagine after that, like, Kenny probably couldn't do too much. Because he had 3, 4, 5, so 1 water left in deck. He'd have to have Melanie and find them 1 water left. So we'll go to game number 2. These are our best 2 out of 3. We are helping Kenny prepare for regionals, and so see how that happens. So let's see what Kenny has got this game. Hopefully gets to turn 1. I guess you would attach a Water G turn 1. You don't want to go for a turn 1 DTE because it is easier for us to get rid of a DTE than it is a Psychic Energy. So, got 3 Pokemon. We do have a DTE. No Psychic just yet. Arceus is inactive. And we have an interesting situation. We can Ultra Ball. We should probably discard the V-Star. And probably the Fan of Waves. Depending on what he plays this turn. Because the EXP share is really valuable, but I don't know if I make that play. But Kenny actually doesn't do anything this turn. That's not good for him. So now we can go, like, attach DTE, Ultra Ball. I think we still want to discard the V-Star and maybe the Fan of Waves. So let's say we discard both of those. Now, it's actually a really bad misplay on my part. We should have kept the Bibarel on hand. I don't know what. I think what I was looking for is looking for a Crobat, but I didn't deck search. So that's actually a really, really bad decision on my part. We should have definitely discarded the Fan of Waves and the V-Star. But for some reason we didn't. And that is going to bite us this game 100%. So we'll see what happens. We did keep the Fan of Waves and Crushing Hammer, so we can slow Kenny down. But if we don't top deck anything, we are definitely in big trouble. I don't know what I was thinking when I discarded them. I think I know what I was thinking. I think I was thinking, oh, Crobat's in the deck. But this is a new game. We don't know if Crobat's actually in the deck or not, and it bit us. We only played the 1 Crobat, so. And even then, like, Crobat would have only net us 3 cards. While I guess, like, Bibarel only get us, like, 1, maybe 2, depending on the situation. So as he research going to Kenny's hand, we're going to dump the hand, draw 7. He knows we didn't play a supporter card, so no need to Marnie there. Discard that Ball Sorter. And I wonder if we can see what else we discarded. So DTE comes down. We see the Starbreath. Going to go ahead and get the Starbreath online. Not a bad thing to do. Once again, Kenny knows we play Path to the Peak. And maybe he doesn't have a counter for it. So that could be a big deal. While he's playing the V-Star ability. The Starbreath, getting 2 cards out of his deck. But our hand, like I said, we have the top deck out of this. Right now, it's just Crushing Hammer and Fan of Waves. So we shall see what happens. So, all right. There's a Crushing Hammer or Scoop Up Net. Sorry. Let's see. What else did Kenny got here? What else would he be? What else does he need to dig for right now? So Choice Belt. So he wants to attach all of his tools before he can't attach anymore. So Pat's Peak does come down, which is good for him. It does counter Crobat if we did have Crobat, so that's good by him. And they receive Water Energy, and another Water Energy. So we sure have Fan of Waves, so we can at least put the DT on the bottom of his deck, but there's the Bidoof top deck, and yeah. I don't know. I definitely should have played that a little better. We should have not discarded the Bibarel. We should have kept it. So we got the Bidoof. We get the Fan of Waves. And the Crushing Hammer. So we get the Crushing Hammer. Tails, unfortunately. And it looks like we're just going to pass. We could have maybe... We probably should have Fan of Waves the DT on the active. But maybe I was thinking we want him to use it to retreat. So he discards it instead. So there we go. So he retreats, puts another RCS VSTAR, and water detachment. Okay, so now the Fan of Waves is useless unless he attaches another DTE later on. So Eternity Nova for the knockout. And yeah, it's looking pretty bad from here. This goes down to 5. Goes down to 4. We send a Bidoof on our turn, and it is an Evolution Incense. So this will find us a Bibarel. Bibarel will go on the bench Bidoof most likely. And we could maybe AXP share. This is where, once again, not playing the Fan of Waves is hurting us. We'll Air Balloon the bench. There's really no need to Air Balloon the active because he's going to play Boss Order to take it out on the bench if we want to. Okay, so we get a Hammer. We get another Evolution Incense that we could find on the Bibarel. So Tails again. So we can go Ultra. Okay, so we actually didn't Ultra Ball for Whimsicott there. I don't know why. Don't know why I didn't Ultra Ball for Whimsicott. I should have Evolution Incense for another Bibarel. Ultra Ball the 2 for Whimsicott? Yeah, I don't know why I didn't grab Whimsicott there. It's really bad on my part. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, so on our turn, yeah, we should have grabbed... I don't know what was happening. I don't know why I didn't do that. Alright, so we got Fan of Waves. So we can Fan of Waves to bench now if we want to. We can Ultra Ball, maybe discard the Fan of Waves and Evolution Incense. So big misplays on my part. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. So now we got the Whimsicott for some reason. We didn't do it last turn with Destiny and Strizers. And we don't find an energy. We could Quick Ball for another Whimsicott, which I definitely think what we should do here is grab another Whimsicott. I guess regardless, we couldn't find an energy, so maybe that's why I didn't want to find another Whimsicott. So I know I misplay here, and I'll tell you why in a second. I know for sure what's about to happen. So put the EXP share on the bench Whimsicott V, and then we'll accidentally attach a Psychic Energy to the one that has that. So we get one of the active. Psychic there. We should probably Quick Ball with the Ultra Ball, and you see I attached the wrong one. I realized later that definitely was a huge misplay. So we put it on the Bidoof. We'll retreat and just pass. So, because we should attach Psychic to the other Whimsicott, so that Whimsicott gets Boss Order and knocked out. We at least can swing this turn. You see right now, I'm like, why did I attach the Psychic Energy? I should have put Psychic Energy there. So, clearly not thinking my best for some reason right now. Oh well, it happens. We'll see if Kenny has another boss order. So there's a Melanie, so he doesn't have energy in hand. So he's down, what, 3, 4. They probably only play 6. Kenny probably only play 6 waters. Most of these RCs telling us only play 6, so there's 5 now. So most likely he has 1 water left. He will go down to 2. I mean, regardless, we're going to probably lose this game. We're just going to play it just because. Goes down to 2, send a Bibarel on our turn. And I think in this game, I actually attempt to see what happens with something, because I've never done this before. And we'll go over that here in a little bit when it comes down to it, when it happens. So we're going to Dust Sizers for 4. Looks like we didn't really hit anything. I think at this point, we just want to find a DTE, so we're just going to research the hand. So we find the Whimsicott VSTAR. We find an EXP share, but at this point, it doesn't matter. Because if he takes a knockout on a V-Star, well, we lose. So, realistically, we should attach an Air Balloon to the V, because it doesn't matter right now. And, we'll just, I don't even know, I guess we're going to thin the hand out more. And there's another V-Star that can come into play. Just at least put that down, and we'll just retreat and attack. But it's not really going to matter because Kenny has the potential to, like, Cheer's care if he wants to. So yeah, it's not looking good for us this game, unfortunately. I don't know why that one turn I didn't grab the Ultra Ball for Whimsicott, but I couldn't attack for like at least 3 more turns. So I don't think it really mattered in the grand scheme of things. I think we would have lost regardless. Most likely see Kenny just like level ball for a Drizzle, and the Drizzle for Cheer's care, pick up the damage RC's V-Star. Kenny already has like all the water he's on the board, so it's gonna be really hard for us to do anything. But here's the interesting thing: if we had more prize cards left, or if Kenny had more prize cards left, what would happen? Because Kenny is no longer able to attach DTEs, and he has all the water Gs in his hand. So we see actually the quick shooting come down, not the Cheer's care. We see the Inteleon come down, and we'll see probably some pinging going on. Let's see what Kenny decides to ping. At this point, it really doesn't matter too much, I don't think. So 20 to the active. He could hit for 200. So, yeah. So at this point, we can't take a knockout, right? But Kenny, he's going to win regardless. So instead of me taking the knockout, I want to try something. And you'll see what it is. So we're going to attach a DT to the active, which might seem crazy, but I don't know if the DTE stack with the -20. That's what I wanted to try to attempt. Like, if you double DTE, does it count as -40 or -20? So, that's what we're going to attempt right now. Once again, you're going to see me debate here, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to lose anyway. So, I'm just going to attach the DTE to the active and just, like, do this, like, V-Star play. Oh, wait. Okay, I did it for the trick win. So, you see right there, I'm like, okay, that's what happened. Because we could have not attached DT and taken a knockout, but as you see, it did. It did not let us take a knockout, right? Because how much damage did we did? 120, right? Let me make sure that real quick. So I think we did 120 instead of 140, and if that happened, that means that the DTEs do stack, right? So let's watch that one more time. So this is something cool I wanted to test. Let's see. Yeah, so it does do 120. So double DT does do -40, which is that I never tried before. I thought we went for the fluff ball star, but we would trick win. Regardless, Kenny was going to win. This is what I was talking about. We had no way to heal our guy. So he could have pinged us this turn with the Inteleon, and that's what I'm telling him right now. The next turn, ping us again with the Inteleon, and there's no way we could have won. Because Quick Shooty did 240, and then Quick Shooty would take a knockout. There's no way we were going to take a knockout on the Inteleon. With the Inteleon, there was no way we were going to win regardless, and so that's why I was testing the -40, because I didn't know they stacked or not, and it does. So that's something very interesting to think about if you are playing Whimsicott. That also means it stacks for the V-Star ability, so it means it does -40 after doing the damage. So that's what I was testing, and like I told Kenny, the Inteleon pretty much secured him the game because he could have pinged again and then won. So I wanted to try that out because I did not know if that did -40 or just -20. So, yeah, on to game 3, just testing out stuff. Like I said, we were going to lose regardless, so we could have took a knockout and then, like, Kenny, you know, Might have whiffed the energy, but that's hell not pinging. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't knock it out either because it has too much HP and we don't do enough damage. So, yeah. Well, actually, I think it would have been like 160, so we could have maybe knocked it out. I don't know. I think we were going to lose regardless, and I was more curious about trying this. So, anyway, I think it still looks good for Whimsicott versus Arceus because, like I said earlier, even if he were to chance care, he can't really like stack the energies back into his deck, which is something interesting to note. So we see Kenny does start with the Dunsparce. So we'll go for the Psychic, attach a Psychic to the active, and I think right here we just pass, right? There's nothing else we really need to do. We can go DTE, maybe play some hammers if we want to. Go for Marnie, go for Research. Quick Ball, we have Water. Probably to find the Arceus. Now, if Kenny can go Arceus, DTE, and like Scoop of Net and put it in the Arceus and play, that'd be perfect. So we see the Scoop of Net. It's in the Arceus V. So Kenny's, having a great turn. Low Ball for another Sobble, maybe. Okay. Going low ball for Sobble. So you can go double Drazeo next turn. And we just see a Trinity charge actually just going to the active saying, hey, if you play Fan of Waves, I already have, 3 waters attached. So we see Crushing Hammer, Tails. See Crushing Hammer, Tails. Crushing Hammer, Heads. So we can discard 1 water. DT to the active. And probably just Research here. There's no need to play Marnie. We're to Crobat first for 4. Okay. So now we get another DTE. So we can either go Peony here to find double Evolution Incense and attack this turn, which I think I actually like that play. I think I like going for the double Evolution Incense, and we could have got attack off this turn if we do whiff. So, but we're keeping the Research in hand. You see me right now, I'm like, oh man, I should have went for the Evolution play. So, do that. Just Research. There's no need to Marnie. I need to find a V-Star. We don't really care about the one DTE discarding. And you're going to see it does bite me, right? It does put me in a bad situation now because I can't attack. Kenny can realistically take a knockout next turn. And we have nothing. So I should have went for the Peony, grab the double, and attack that way. Double Evolution Incense. But instead we're going to Cotton Guard and make it where they do -30 to us. So I don't think there's a way that Kenny can take a knockout now because he's going to do 180 minus 30. So bring it up to 150 plus Choice Band back to 180. So we will survive by 10. So we see Strategy dealing. So he did have the Drazeo in hand. This could find Arceus V-Star. They receive Marnie, so Kenny is going to Marnie us, and our hand is, it's okay. We were probably just Marnie here. So let's see. We did find a Fan of Waves either to get rid of his DTE, but I guess it really doesn't matter because we didn't have Arceus V-Star. We do have the Bibarel. We do have the Evolution Incense. We do have a Fog Crystal. Our hand is really, really good right now. So we can Bibarel, Evolution Incense, Fog Crystal for another Psychic Energy, and I get it fresh new hand at 5. So we do see the Evolution Incense for the Arceus V-Star, but it doesn't look like he has another Arceus V in hand right now. So V-Star will come down. Okay, so there's the Arceus V. Okay, so Kenny actually has a really good hand now. We know there's 1 water in his discard pile, so that is, he could probably grab 3 if none are prized. So let's see, 1, so just 1. So that tells me Kenny has multiple energies prized now. So we see Evolution Incense, going to grab the V-Star. Well, V-Star, Bibarel, Crushing Hammer. We're going to play our hand down to 0. So Psychic to the bench. I don't think there's any need to put on the active right now. So Tails, Bibarel for 5. So we have 4 Crushing Hammers down, so no more Crushing Hammers are in our deck. But that's okay. We'll see what happens. So we do have the Bidoof. So what we could do here is we could hypothetically boss sort of the bench RCSV, because I don't think Kenny has a way to retreat this. I don't think he plays Switch. And it'll buy us a turn to get another Arceus setup, another Whimsicott setup if we want to. And he can't attack. The most he could do is maybe go for a Trinity charge. And I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to protect our Whimsicott so he can't take a knockout. And he'll have to attach a water energy, but we know he only grabbed one out of the deck, so he realistically can't attack right now. He'd have to Melanie and then attach a water energy to the bench, but I don't think he has water energies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1 is prize. So 1 water is prize, so water to the bench. Okay. Evolution Incense. And so what this does, it gives me a turn to put in the Psychic Energy on the bench. Whimsicott V, put down Bibarel for 5, good Bibarel for 5 again. Try to find a EXP share to the bench, Whimsicott V, and then have VSTAR, then have that one set up. And then we could go for a Flip Ball Star for a knockout, because it will do 180 damage. So, or no, that wouldn't take a knockout, would it? We'd have to get a DTE. Yeah. So Power Pad back to 2 cards, okay. Or we could attach the 4th Psychic, and that could take a knockout too. So if we get the EXP show on the bench, Whimsicott V, we should be okay. So we see Shady Dealings come down, gonna find 2 cards, put in their hand. This could maybe have gotten a Sharon's Care. That could be a thing he could have grabbed and picked up the RCSV. Oh no, he Melanie this turn, so he couldn't do that. Yeah, he Melanie to the bench. So scoop him at the Shady Dealings. Put down that. Find another Shady Dealings. Okay. And let's see what does this find Kenny. Like I said, he already played Melanie, so he can't Sharon's Care. He has no way to heal the active. So there's Sharon's Care and a Raihan. The Raihan's actually pretty good too in this matchup because it's another way to attach a Water G. So we do see a Bibarel. So I think we should go Bibarel, Tachak Psychic to the bench, Industrial Sizers, and then we can Ultra Ball to find another Whimsicott if we want to. So we'll see a Psychic Energy there. Industrial Sizers. We could go for like Ultra Ball for another V-Star as well. So there's the EXP share I was talking about that we could attach. And that makes it where like our new Whimsicott V-Star can knock out the Arceus. I think I'd like to see the Research being discarded instead. Because I think we are going to give him a turn to use his special energies. So another Industrial Incisors. Alright, so we have Marnie. Marnie's really good here because we know he has Raihan in hand. So I think the Marnie here is very, very good. We Marnie him, shuffle the Raihan on the bottom of his deck, and now he doesn't have Raihan or Melanie because it's at the bottom of the deck now. Melanie's been used. We have Tool Scrapper here, which is not going to do anything. But it will allow us to get that 4th energy and take a knockout if we want to next turn with a Fluff Ball Star. So, yeah, right? Because I don't think we one-shot that just yet. Path to Peak, we don't care about that. DTE, that could maybe, yeah, so 210. So we'd have to attach another Psych Energy to take a knockout, which is still good for us. We can one-shot the V-Star, or not one-shot, we can pick up the knockout once he knocks us out, and that would put him at, no Arceus in play at all. And he can't one-shot the V-Star no matter what. So I think that's a really good play for us. We do see the Drizzile getting a Marnie here, so that does put the Psychic Energy on the bottom of our deck. So we'll see what happens. We could find a DTE, and that could also take a knockout. But there we see the Fog Crystals, so we can take a knockout. We do see a Quick Ball getting an RCSV, but he most likely does not have any Water Gs left in his deck. I think if RCSs are scared of Whimsicott V-Star, one thing they could include is maybe like an Energy Recycler or some way to get energies back in their deck. So that could be something you could do. Retrieval is not going to be that helpful because RCS is from the deck, not from the hand. So, and then we see Avery go on his hand. Here to play Marnie. RCS comes down. And like I said, he can Trinity Nova for the knockout. And then what he can do next turn is, Raihan, attach DC and swing. So that could be something he could do to follow up if he does have that play. So we see Avery of her own. We could just, Avery, put him down to, 3 cards or 3 Pokemon. Probably discard maybe the Atelion. We do have Fog Crystal, which is not going to do anything for us because the other Whimsicott V is in the other 2 Whimsicott Vs are in the prize cards. So we see Avery. Going to draw 3. Going to put Kenny down to 3. probably discard the... Okay, gonna discard the Drizzile, actually, okay. So we got the Psychic Energy, so we can take a knockout this turn. We'll see an Ultra Ball, discard Path Peak, and Research. I think the plan now is to put our hand down to 0, try to find the Ordinary Rod, but I don't like that. Oh, we discard the Psychic Energy, too. I don't like that at all, actually. So we get the Ordinary Rod. Okay, so it's actually pretty big because what we can do now is find these two and find the one Psychic we put in the discard pile. So we can Ultra Ball, find the other Whimsicott. Put that down, and then we'll Dusty and Shizers. All right, so we do have. Oh, so we're gonna put it. I hope we put it on the VSTAR. I hope we realize the play. And we're going to put it here instead. Okay. So I think my play is now is saying, hey, you can't one-shot me and you can't chance care plus heal your guy. So I think there's no way for Kenny to realistically attack right now. If he attacks, it doesn't do anything for him. If he chance care, it can't do anything, right? So we see the Water G go into the RC's VSTAR. Like I said, he could chance care, but it's not going to do anything really. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe we should have gone for the knockout, but who knows. So Melanie to the bench. We see Trinity Nova. It's going to swing. Okay. On our turn, we'll put down the Whimsicott VSTAR. We get Evolution Incense to find nothing. We get Dusty Shizers for a couple. So we find the DTE and the EXP share. This might give us... Oh, I didn't attach the EXP share. No, attach the EXP share. Okay, so we're going to trade, actually, so he can't take a knockout. Okay, I got you. So we'll trickle in for a knockout. So this makes it where he can't Raihan plus boss order this turn. Okay. So that was the situation I was thinking of. Because if he Raihans, he can't boss order. So he can't get on the bench Whimsicott VSTAR. So now we have two Whimsicott VSTAR set up. We get 2-shot his RCS and he can't take a knockout here. So yeah, that's what's happening. So, but we can one-shot the Inteleon. If he set up the Inteleon, he can maybe try to deck us out because there's 4 prize cards left. We swing, take a knockout or something. I don't know. It's weird. He could have maybe tried to deck us out because we only have 4 cards left. So that could be a thing that could maybe happen. So on our turn, you can tell he doesn't have any more water energies. We'll see the trick win. And then now this is pretty much game because we have the DTE to retreat anybody if we want to. We have the boss order in hand. So I think we should be okay. So see another ping on the bench. He can maybe knock out the bench, but that's not going to matter too much. And also we have Flip Ball Star. There's a Marnie. So he's going to Marnie us anyway, save us. And we should have the game. I don't think there's a way for Kenny to get back energies. He can't Raihan anymore without something to get knocked out. So that's not good. And yeah. 6, 12, 18. So yeah, we do 160 because the DTE Fluff Ball Star will take a knock on the bench. So we do get to show off Fluff Ball Star a little bit, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, we'll just Fluff Ball Star for the knockout on the bench. And so there we go, beating RC's Hilling on 2-1 with Whimsicott VSTAR. I think the deck still does need maybe a Raihan because that could be really good. Something gets knocked out, you can Raihan, find DT or whatever you want to. And I think if you're the fan of RCS, I think what you can do is, like I said, maybe find a way to get back water energies, maybe play another Melanie. That could be a thing too. You do play Palpad as well. So we did flip, what, 3 Tails on Crushing Hammers too, which is pretty big. But yeah, so there's day number 1 to test the Whimsicott VSTAR versus RCS Inteleon. Hopefully you learned something new about Whimsicott VSTAR. I think the deck is still really good and a good deck to play for Indianapolis. I think it just has so much control with that trick win. Make where your point, okay, play special energy, stuff like that, and tool cards. So yeah, test the deck out for Indianapolis. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Find a way to play Raihan. I think it's really good in the deck. Alrighty guys, bye.